too, and it's going. It started. You got this, friend. Just be calm. Smile, cause honey, you got them beautiful teeth.
Hello.
Yeah. Awesome. So we're live. I'm gonna. All right. Welcome, 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 everybody. Come on down. And hello, everybody on Instagram. Let me mute this. All right, y'all. Hello, everybody. I am I'm so excited. I'm excited about tonight. I'm gonna give you guys a few minutes to come on in, chime in. We have about 3 people on. Thank you guys for coming in. So
Hey.
Mirlotte, how was Dr. Mirlotte? We're gonna wait for everybody to come in. Okay, because listen, I'm gonna give honor when it's due, sis. Okay. So how was your day, sis? I know this is your first time being on Heart to Heart, but that's okay, because honey, your smile is gorgeous, and I know you're gonna do the dog.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
How was your day?
So my day was good. I was really looking forward to coming on tonight. So I was at work and, just keeping the energy flowing and thinking about what I want to say to everybody. So my day was really good. Had a good day at work and came and got ready to be on Heart to Heart.
Yes. So thank you all. We have about 8 people right now. And if you guys can just go ahead and share this video. I know, some of you guys are just getting off of work, and that's okay. If you're coming in a little later or you're watching the replay, go ahead and share this video, because I believe her story is beautiful. I mean, I heard parts of it already, and I kind of told her, don't share too much with me, because honey, I don't want to get emotional.
Wow.
Thank you, Chantal. We have Kim, we have Grace, we have Mr. Walter. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We have about 12 people. Just go ahead and share this video. I'm super, super excited. We're just gonna get right into it. If you come in late, look, you just gonna have to watch the replay, because I don't want to. You got to catch it on replay, right? Because we don't want to keep people waiting, right? So I'm gonna just introduce this queen. Her name is Dr. Mirlotte. All right. She is a pharmacist turned event designer. I'm just gonna pause right there. Wow. A pharmacist turned into an event designer. Okay, that right there is a lot. All right. She specializes in creating custom decor for lifestyle events such as weddings, baby showers, and milestone birthdays. Her mission is to help her clients celebrate their life, telling the story behind the journey that has led to celebrating that very special moment. Dr. Mirlotte believes your personal story is what makes you special. Your life has purpose. Let's celebrate your life together. Can you guys show some love by giving her some hearts, you guys? Give her some hearts. Okay, because a doctor turned into an event designer. Wow. I'm just gonna pause on that for a little bit. Like, that's beautiful. That's just amazing. So we're just gonna jump right into it. So here you are going to school, right? And you obviously graduated. You're a doctor. You're a pharmacist.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, like, how did you come about becoming, a pharmacist? Like, was it something that you've always wanted? Like, let's talk about that a little bit.
Wow. So in high school, I kind of developed an interest in healthcare and medicine, right? And so I always had like that aptitude to want to study medicine. But I knew for sure that I did not want to go to school for like 13 years, combining school, post-grad residency to become a medical doctor. So I knew I liked healthcare, but I knew I didn't want to be a medical doctor. And I remember the day like it was yesterday. I was in the car with my mom, and she she asked me, you know, what are you thinking about? What are you thinking about doing for college when you go away to college? And I was telling her, you know, hey, you know, I don't think I want to go to school so long. I don't think I want to be a medical doctor, but I really like healthcare. And I think I really like knowing that I could possibly pursue something else by going into business. So I was thinking about putting the two together and doing healthcare administration.
Right.
And so my mom looks at me and she kind of gave me the side eye and she was like, healthcare administration. And I was like, yeah, you know, excited, right? And so she's like, you know what,
Mhm.
honestly, I don't know if I think that would be a good route for you. I don't know if I think that would be a good route for you because my mom,
Mhm.
being in the healthcare field, she actually worked in a setting where she felt like minority women didn't really advance or weren't really in those positions. And so she was like, honestly, why don't you decide to go to school for pharmacy? And at the time I was working at a local pharmacy as a pharmacy technician. And so she tells me, um, go to school for pharmacy because you're already in the field. And why don't you just continue that way? And so that's how it went. I went to pharmacy school because at the time I kind of was a little discouraged, you know, because she was saying that minority women weren't really in those positions of administration. And so I decided to go to pharmacy school and I was already working as a pharmacy tech. And so I went to pharmacy school.
Okay. So now we're talking about, and as you guys know, if this is your very first time tuning to Heart to Heart Haitian Women on the Move, this segment is to showcase women in South Florida, in our local community, who are entrepreneurs, who are making multiple streams of income, who are entrepreneurs. And, you know, we don't get showcased a lot here. You know, I'm all about people that have thousands of followers, but I also love my peoples that got 900 followers. Can I get a 900, please? Hello,
900.
somebody. Okay, 900. Like, because, you know, listen, because I don't even want to get into that. My last segment, because I believe, you know, your hun bun, he was on the platform last month. And I love what he said. His coins is not based on numbers. Oh, come on, somebody. Okay. So I love that. You know, so I want
Wow.
to showcase. Listen, honey, I felt that your coins is not based on your numbers. And I love the fact that, you know, this is, you're sharing your story, and this is why we're here to showcase Haitian women here in South Florida that are entrepreneurs, you know, that make six figures, that are, you know, that are doing so much, and yet no one knows about them. Okay. So I know you're talking about, you know, pharmacy. We're going to get back into it. I just got excited, you guys. We're talking about your journey here. So at what age? So here you are, you're going to school because mom said, you know what, she thinks that you need to go this route. Can you tell us how you felt being, you know, being a pharmacist, or being, you know, to talk about how you felt going to work every day? Was it something that you always, you know, you felt like this was it, or you felt like there was more?
So I always had it in my mind that I wanted to do more than just pharmacy.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, I kind of grew up around a spirit of entrepreneurship, right? I grew up in a lineage of entrepreneurship. And when I say that, I mean my mom was, when she first came to the States, you know, she had nothing. She was in a brand new country, growing up in Haiti. And so she came to the States with nothing. She started working at a restaurant. She goes on from the restaurant to earning her license for a CNA. And then she goes on from there to being a hustler that she knows from, you know, growing up in Haiti. And she starts selling Avon. My mom was an Avon lady. Okay. Selling Avon at the house. I remember seeing her, you know, get all the orders in, and I was one of the ones, me and my sister were helping her package it. It was a big production. It was a big thing for her, earning that side income. And from there, she became the cremas plug, Mondes Cremas. Shout outs to Mondes Cremas. My mom developed her own cremas line, basically based off of ingredients and traditions in our family. So I kind of grew up seeing that spirit of entrepreneurship, you know. And my dad also came here from Haiti, started working at a restaurant, and then he went on from working at the restaurant to doing construction. Sometimes will go back to work at the restaurant after working all day at construction, to the point where he then becomes an electrician and becomes his own independent contractor, owns his own business as an electrician. And then, so I grew up around this spirit of entrepreneurship, right? And so I remember when I was like 12 or 13 years old, I met my maternal grandmother for the first time. She also came from Haiti to the States, and being in a new country and seeing how slow the pace was here in the States compared to Haiti, my grandma needed to find something to do. Right. And so she decided that she was going to start selling douce. She started selling douce, started selling pistache. She would have my mom take them to work and actually sell them for her. And so seeing all these people in my family hustling, you know what I mean? Being entrepreneurs, doing their thing, I kind of developed that urge or that passion to want to make my own money, want to earn my own streams of revenue, right? And so that same year, I believe I was like 12, 13 years old. You know, my grandma was doing her thing, and, you know, this is kind of in me now. So I decided, you know what? I don't know. Did you go to Crystal Lake, Ludi?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
You did? Okay. So you went to Crystal Lake, and I'm sure there's a lot of other people that's going to run this back or are watching now that went to Crystal Lake. So some of y'all may remember that I was one of the candy girls, one of the girls who had the candy in the backpack and was selling candy. Anything you needed, I had it. We talking about Skittles, M&Ms, the whole nine, right? And so having this instilled in me, seeing that, seeing my parents, seeing my grandma, being entrepreneurs in their way, kind of provoked me to want to be an entrepreneur as well, right? And so I developed this business sense and wanting to do my own thing, wanting to provide a source of income for myself that didn't necessarily depend on someone else, right? A boss or someone else telling me how I needed to do certain things. So I'm now a pharmacist, right? And I'm going into work every day, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, it's really just, I'm making great money, started out making 6 figures, making great money, right? But I just felt like I wasn't being fulfilled. I didn't like the idea of knowing that I would work 30 years for someone else, not really ever having established something for myself, right? And so I'm in the pharmacy, I'm working, and we're talking about stressful. It's very stressful. The days are long, the days are hard. There's a lot of politics. And it's hard. And I'm thinking, like, is this what I want to do for 30 years? And so it's not until I'm about 3 years into pharmacy at this point, I get a call from my sister. And she tells me, I'm planning to graduate. She was graduated from FAM, go Rattlers. Yes. She was graduating from FAM. Shout out to the Rattlers out there. And she knew I was creative in the sense that I had done a baby shower for my older sister. And I had done a baby shower for my older sister. And I had also decorated my own graduation party, right? And so she's like, sis, I need your help. I need you to come and, make this graduation party amazing. It's her big day and she really wanted it to look nice. And so she decides that she wants me to decorate. And so I'm kind of brought back to the memories of planning my own graduation party and planning my older sister's baby shower. And I'm loving every minute of it. I'm loving every minute of it. And I'm just like, wow, I think maybe I could do this. Because, I'm really feeling like pharmacy is not enough. It's not going to be enough for me. I really want to be able to do something where I can kind of branch out on my own. And so that's when I was like, you know what? I think maybe I have something. So we fast forward to the actual party, and family and friends are there and they love it. The decorations come out great. Everybody's kind of their breaths taken away, and they're like, wow, this is amazing, Mirlotte. And I'm getting all these compliments. I'm getting all this support. And at the time, my best friend, she was at the party, and she knew that my boyfriend at the time, now my fiance.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Hallelujah.
Was very.
We're gonna talk about your boo. Towards the end, though. This is your time.
She knew that he was very business savvy, you know, and she was like, you know what, Jude is business savvy and you're creative. I think you guys might have something here. I think you
Mhm.
guys might be able to make a business out of this thing. And I was like, you know what? You might be right, sis, because I loved every minute of this. I'm sure you can relate.
Period, Pooh.
I loved every minute of this thing. And so, you know what? We kind of took her encouragement to heart. And so at that point, I knew that pharmacy was not going to be enough. I
Wow.
knew that I had something else that I could potentially leverage. I didn't really know how, but I was like, you know what? I think I want to do this, you know? I think I want to go this route. And so that's when I knew for sure pharmacy was not going to be enough.
So I really want to go back because she said a lot. She said so much, you guys. And I'm taking notes. If y'all see I'm writing down or looking down, I'm just writing down stuff so I can go back. Are you guys enjoying this so far? Just kind of just talk to me. Just yes, if you're enjoying this. We have 11 people online. I really want you guys to go ahead and share this. We got 14. I want you guys to go ahead and share this. Now, people, I love the fact that you said you basically you graduated. You're now a doctor. You're making six figures, but you are unhappy making six figures.
Mm-hmm.
Did I get that right? Did I take notes correctly?
You got it right. The fulfillment
So, do you guys hear
all the
this?
way there.
So you see six figures, and you didn't. Being a pharmacist didn't quite do it for you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want you to talk to the people and let them know. So at what age do you get that fire, like this is what I'm supposed to be doing? Because many people feel as if that, well, you know what, I gotta figure out my life like in middle school or college. Can you please tell us at what age did you get that fire and zeal, like this is what makes me come alive?
So honestly, purpose definitely was revealed slowly over time, right? So we go
Mhm.
back to when I was in middle school and I'm selling candy. I'm seeing my parents, I'm seeing my grandma have this spirit of entrepreneurship. I felt like that was a part of my purpose, right? Because it just seemed like it came so naturally. Nobody told me to go out there and sell candy, you know, like this was something that just I kind of developed. So that's middle school. And then we have high school where I'm realizing, you know, I do kind of like healthcare. I do kind of like have this ability to study and all this stuff. So I do like that. And so in high school, I'm still seeing my purpose kind of be revealed to me, where I kind of see that I can do something related to medicine, right? And so ultimately, the purpose is being revealed slowly but surely, right? And so at that point where my sister asked me for me to decorate the party, another flash in my mind, wow, this might be a part of my purpose as well. So honestly, I feel like in middle school is probably really when I first started seeing my purpose kind of unfolding.
Right.
But throughout the different phases in my life, I see how the small pieces were being put together. Small pieces were being put together.
And I love what you said, that purpose is revealed slowly over time. You know,
Yeah.
if you guys are taking notes tonight, purpose is revealed slowly over time. Please make sure you quote Dr. Mirlotte. And I love the fact that you know, and your purpose came over time because you was not stagnant. Oh, come on,
Yeah.
somebody. You know,
Yes.
people
Yes.
feel like in order to discover purpose, they have to be stagnant.
It's just
But
gonna
no,
dawn on them.
right. So with you saw your mom, you saw your grandma, and it did something, you know, to you. And because of that, you didn't remain stagnant in that season. You begin to put your hands to the plow, and then purpose begin to reveal itself. All right. So I hope you guys are getting something, because in order for purpose to be revealed, you cannot be stagnant.
Yes.
I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are watching, I hope you guys are taking notes with her life. So, okay. So at what age did you, this is so good, you guys, because this is just amazing. So are you still a pharmacist, or like, how are you balancing being a doctor and having your own business? There's a two-part question here. How do you balance the two? And at what age, I want to say, did you really decided to take this thing by the horns and just go with it?
Right. So I am still a pharmacist, right?
Mhm.
And so my sister called me and, she basically kind of sparked something in me after I did her event. And, at that point, it's like, wow, I had did a couple of events after her graduation party. I had did several baby showers, and I had did several different other events. And I realized that this definitely could go on to another level. And at that time I was, I don't know, 24 or something like that.
Mhm,
And so I
mhm,
started thinking, how can I still work my day job, still pursue this business, and still move forward with this idea that I have in my head. And so, you know what? I would go to work. I would go to work, come home, and work on events. Go to
mhm.
sleep, go back to work, come home, work on events. But I was still at the time in Naples. And while I was in Naples, I felt like, you know what, I can't just stay here. I can't just continue to allow myself to not be in the place where I need to be to reach my market, and to also get the support that I needed. And so at that time, I was in Naples. I was about 23, somewhere around there. And that's when I decided I was going to take my business idea, my passion to do events to the next level, right? And so I prayed about it because I wanted to move from Naples. I wanted to move from Naples, but I felt like maybe it's not the right move, right? And so I prayed about it. And at that point, I decided, you know what? I'm going to do this thing. I
Mhm.
felt God was leading me to do it because after doing baby showers after my sister's event, I realized that it's more than just the event for me, right? It's also about telling a story behind the events, telling a
Mhm.
story behind the events and showcasing that even though you're going through hard times, there's always a reason to celebrate. There's
Yeah.
always a reason to be thankful for something. There's always opportunities to just be grateful for the people who are around you. And so at
Yeah.
that point, I decided I was going to move, and I didn't have a job lined up. I didn't have a job lined up. And so I took the leap. I took the leap, came
Mhm.
home, and by the grace of God, within 30 days, I got transferred to a different position, right? And so all these things, purpose is being revealed, and I'm feeling assured in the decision that God guided me to. Um, and so tell me, what was the second part of your question?
And the second part of my question is, at what age did you launch this business of yours?
I launched in 2017.
Okay.
2017. That was when my sister graduated.
Mhm, mhm.
And that same month, I was like, you know what, we're doing this. And so I
Right.
launched in 2017. And again, that's where I felt like I was being led to. That was the next thing because I had this creative bone. That was the next thing for me. And that's when I essentially launched.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Are you guys getting something so far? Because I know I have a lot of ladies on here. You guys are also in the event business, and if you guys have any questions, please feel free to pull on Dr. Mirlotte while she's here, because you know her life is going to get busy once the COVID-19 is over in Jesus' name.
My
Okay.
God.
And we sure, yes. And we want to make sure that, you know, I only bring y'all the best because I don't be interviewing anybody and just anybody, you know, on here. So if you guys have any questions, I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to type and we're going to go on to the next question. But ladies, feel free to ask anything. You know, I have about 15 of you guys. Entrepreneur in the making. No problem. Lady May said entrepreneur in the making and she is listening. So so we have a couple of ladies here who are, you know, entrepreneurs who just launched their business. What steps did you take to what steps did you take to launch this event planning business? Or are there any certifications that you need? Do you have to buy everything? Like, how does that work? Because you said definitely prayer, and you also took a leap of faith. And I want y'all to take notes down, because Dr. Mirlotte said you need faith and you need prayer in order to discover your purpose. So please quote her, because her fiance is watching. So prayer and faith works hand in hand in order to discover your purpose. That's what the woman of God said. Okay. So tell us about the steps, because some people feel like, I'm an event business, I'm an event planning business. I got to have everything. I got to purchase everything. I got to do this. Do I have to purchase everything? Like, what are the steps? What do you need to do?
So definitely, the first step is not to go and purchase everything, for sure. Right. That is definitely not the first step. The first step, honestly, is to tell your family and friends what you're thinking about. Tell your family and friends what you're thinking about, and let them allow you to do their events, right? So they're planning events, volunteer. That's what I did. First thing I did. This is way back when my older sister was having a baby shower. I volunteered to just go ahead and decorate. So volunteer to do your family and friends events, and then take pictures. Make sure you have as great as pictures as possible. I know it's not feasible to probably get professional pictures with a photographer all the time, but if you got a friend that's great with a camera, have them document these events for you. Yes. Get great pictures. Think about how you want to have the pictures captured so you can direct them, so they know exactly how you want the images produced. And so that's the first step is tell your family and friends. Make sure that they know you're doing it. Volunteer for their events, to design their events, and make sure you have them, whatever budget they're working with, you're just trying to get your feet wet. You have them purchase the decor, and you definitely execute. You tell them what you're thinking, show them your ideas, pictures online and things like that. Tell them what you're thinking. Have them purchase the decor, based on their budget, and make it work, make it happen. You don't need to go out and buy a whole bunch of inventory, because after a while you're going to be like, oh my God, like, what am I going to do with all this stuff? Right. Yeah, and some things you can rent. So those are the first initial steps, because you got to get yourself out there. You got to really see if this is something you want to do. Events can sometimes be very stressful. There's a lot of moving parts. And if we're talking about people's weddings and stuff, those things have to be immaculate. So those are the first couple steps. Telling your friends and family, volunteering for their events, and making sure the events are documented. Because what you want to do is you want to start building a portfolio. So that way, once you get comfortable with charging, because you may not be charging your family and friends, once you get comfortable with charging other people, you'll have pictures to show them what you've done. And definitely, as much as you can, go out there into certain events, introduce yourself to people, networking events. Social media is also an option, but it's definitely always better to kind of connect with people you already know. Go out there, talk to them, let them know what you're doing. So those are probably the first 3 steps, I would say, to get yourself started.
All right. So did you guys hear that? Number 1 is telling your friends and your family. Okay. Number 2, you are going to volunteer your time, because sometime, all right, saints and ain'ts that are watching, all right, you can jump into entrepreneurship and say, hey, you know what? Hire me. I'm paying $350. Like, can we volunteer? Can we know who you are first? Thank you. Can we know? Can we see what you got? All right. I'm just saying. Okay, so volunteer, give your time. All right. And number 3, have your friends, document, or capture your work. And I think this is so funny, because when I started emceeing, and I'm going back to the pictures, Dr. Mirlotte, it was hideous. It was terrible, girl. Because I had the little flip phone, and it just wasn't it. And I was like, but yeah, people started coming. They got a gist of it, because you know what? I haven't graduated into the iPhone family right now, praise the Lord, but God is still working on me. Okay,
you'll get that, sis.
So this is so true, because I'm just going back into my hosting and emceeing business or whatever that I have on the side, and I did everything that you just told us to do. Like, I told my friends and family, I volunteered little to nothing, it burnt me now because, I can't be emceeing, I can't be hosting a baby shower $50 and you in Miami, but we're going to leave that alone. Okay, we're going to leave that alone because, honey, the $50 is gone. The $50 is gone.
It is.
So,
it is.
So, as you grow, we're not going, you have to elevate yourself because, again, you can't be telling me to go to, St. Lucie for $50 because at that point, by the time I get to the street, the $50 is gone and, I'm hungry and then I ain't got nothing to, we just going to leave that. But these are the things that, you have to do, you guys. I mean, entrepreneurship, it's not easy. So
it's really definitely a stretch. And it's something that requires just the ability to persevere, because when you think about it, when you plant a seed, right, does it become whatever fruit it's supposed to bear the next day? No, it doesn't. You have to plant that seed. You got to water that thing. You got to make sure the ground is good and fertile to be able to sprout up, break through, the soil. Even that is a process. You got to break through that soil sometimes. And sometimes that requires perseverance. That requires doors being shut, people saying no. So you're right. Entrepreneurship is definitely not an easy journey, but you have to be willing and wanting to say, you know what, whatever it takes, I'm going to do that. Whatever it takes before I can get to that ultimate goal.
That's good.
Because I like that. It's not developed in the same day you plant the seed.
I love that. So basically, in order to start your business, or in process of starting your business, you have to plant seeds. Is that what I'm hearing, woman of God?
Yep.
My friend is preaching on tonight. In the process of starting your business, you have to plant your seeds and water the seeds.
Yep. And that's what it is. That's what it is when you're doing these events for your family and friends and basically charging them nothing. And you planting seeds and you taking pictures and then you show the next person the pictures that you did. And then the next person and the next person, you have to plant those seeds before you get to the ultimate goal.
Listen, y'all, I'm getting my life blessed right now. My friend is out here preaching. She is only, and listen now, you ain't gotta be a bishop, an apostle. You gotta be because people be feeling like, you gotta be the, have the little shaky voice and all this stuff to be sowing words. Friend, you preaching right now. You blessing me, but we gonna leave that alone. All right. My God, listen. Okay, so we're going to talk about, so we talked about, some of the steps that you took in your business. So let's talk about challenges because, again, we're talking about this. You sow the seed, you water the seeds, you see the blessing, you see the harvest, but now here comes challenges. So what are some of the challenges you encountered through the journey of discovering your purpose as an event planner? Or even, while transitioning from being a doctor, into the event planning business? What are some of the challenges?
Yeah. So definitely, I was working as a pharmacist and I just felt like I wasn't fulfilled. I had done other events already and I realized that, I can make this bigger. And I started thinking about one event particularly that I did where it was a baby shower, right? And I did the baby shower, but there was a story behind the baby that we were celebrating. The mom to be, she had survived breast cancer and she had a phenomenal story about how she got pregnant when the doctor said she wouldn't be able to get pregnant right away. And that touched me, right? But here I am at my job, not feeling fulfilled, but I feel so fulfilled when I'm doing events. So my first challenge, which I had already touched on, was taking the leap from actually being a pharmacist, not really knowing what's to come, but feeling the strong urge that there was more. I was able to make impact by celebrating people's lives and not just talking about the great things in the event itself, right? But going back and sharing their story, inspiring other people's with these stories, right? And that mom to be, her story and doing that event, it made me realize that I needed to get out of this rut that I was in and that I could take this to the next level. So that first challenge for me was taking that leap from working conventional pharmacy. And so the second challenge ultimately has had to be COVID. COVID has come to kill and destroy. And so that ultimately was a very big challenge for me, because I had to think about how I was going to leverage pharmacy and event design, right? So we're talking about, I'm doing events. I had a great successful 2019, several different events. And, 2020 rolls around and everybody's like, yay, 2020. And everybody's so happy for 2020, new decade. Everybody had plans. And then COVID came and said, no, forget your plans.
Forget your plans.
Forget your plans. Forget your plans. And so I had an event lined up, right? And event got canceled. Because we couldn't use the venue and people had to social distance and we didn't know where this thing was going. And so then I got really nervous. Like, wow, I've invested in Epic. I have my boyfriend, fiance fully invested in this with me. My mom, my in-laws, my brother, everybody is invested. And so like, what am I going to do now if we can't have events? What am I going to do now? Right. And I had an event that was actually scheduled before COVID and it got canceled. And so I'm thinking to myself, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So I had to sit back and I had to think about how I could actually leverage my pharmacy degree with event design. And so in thinking, I thought about, those baby showers that I did and how much I love them, because those are kind of like the types of events that I really like, events where I can create themes and get very creative, making props and all that, right? And so I'm just at work thinking one day, right? At work, but thinking about Epic, right? And so I'm at work thinking about Epic, and I do a lot of answering drug information questions at work, and I noticed that there was a niche. In at my place of work where there was a lot of women out there who were pregnant, and they had a lot of questions a lot of the times about what medications to take while they're pregnant and what medications they should stay away from while they're pregnant, how to manage certain disease states while they're pregnant. And so then I started thinking, wow, maybe I can merge my pharmacy knowledge with event design by not only celebrating the lives of these women, but also caring for them through their pregnancy, consulting them through a subscription-based service where I can consult them, give them drug information, help them care for themselves while they're pregnant. So although COVID was definitely one of the second biggest challenges in my career of pharmacy event design, it ultimately led me to another step in my purpose being developed, right?
That's good.
Another step, because when you think about it, I went to pharmacy school and I didn't really know where I was going to go. Went to pharmacy school and had this job where I was making great money, but I wasn't fulfilled. And then God kind of dawned on me with my sister, and he opened up a door so I can transfer and come back home and actually work in the market where there were people that I could actually service. And then after that, it's like COVID hits. I'm having great events, and God has revealed to me the mission behind this company that I want to move forward with. And COVID hits. But look at God again showing me, like, listen, I know you feel a little discouraged right now, but this is all part of the plan. All part of the plan. All part of the plan.
Okay. I'm just,
all part of the plan. And ultimately, that is the mission behind Epic by Design. The mission behind Epic by Design is helping people to celebrate their lives, even through the midst of the obstacles, the setbacks, the drawbacks, the pit holes, understanding that although you went through all of this, all of it was part of the plan, to the point where one day you can celebrate what you've gone through.
That's amazing. Are you guys getting something? We do have a question. We're gonna, again, if you guys have questions, please send them in. And I love what you said, because so many people, I mean, people think that 2020 is over,
Oh
and
yeah.
what I love about your story is, here you go thinking that, what, your business is in shambles, but yet, because you had faith, you took a leap of faith, you started your business, and God continued to basically hold your hand and reveal to you who he is, not just in your life, but in your business, and also in 2020. You guys, 2020 is not over.
It's not over.
I don't know where your faith is on tonight. Oh, come on, somebody. I don't know where your faith is at or who you believe in, but if God still sits on the throne of your life, he is going to make a way. Can somebody type in make a way for me?
Make a way.
He will
Y'all
make
type
a
that
way.
in now.
Okay, y'all better type that in. God will make a way.
Yes.
Okay,
you will.
So we have a question here, and I want to open the floor for some questions. Someone says, how do you keep pushing forward when fear creeps up and the devil says you won't make it? Oh, come on, somebody. Let's go ahead and prophesy. Here's the microphone, woman of God. Here's the microphone. Here's the microphone.
I got one right here, sis. I got one right here. So how do you keep moving forward when the devil creeps in and says, what he said?
The devil says you won't make it, sis. The devil. The devil is telling you that you won't make it. So how do you beat that?
Wow. So I think about when you first learn how to ride a bike, right? You first learn how to ride a bike. First, you got the training wheels. You think you're riding or whatever. Then the training wheels come off, right? And I know when I first started riding a bike, it was my uncle and my brother. They taught me how to ride a bike. I scuffed my knees so many times. I got on the bike, thought I was doing it because I used to have the training wheels. Training wheels came off, thought I was doing it, started riding the bike, didn't make it a couple meters and fell, scraped my knees. And so I had to do that a couple times. But you know what? Every single time I fell off that bike, I got right back on. And so what do? You get back on the bike and you turn around and you say, devil, not today. I'm getting back on the bike. Because ultimately God has a plan for all of us, right? He desires to give us a prosperous life. He desires to see us come into fruition to be the person he created us to be.
That's good.
And ultimately, the best way I can put it is that in order to be that person, you're going to have to go through some things. There are going to be setbacks. There are going to be drawbacks. There's going to be pitfalls that you didn't anticipate, like COVID. But you get back on the bike, right? You get back on the bike and you just keep going. And you say, not today. Because honestly, if you believe or tell yourself that you're going to succeed or fail, whichever one it is that you say to yourself, that's exactly what it's going to be. So if you keep telling yourself, I can't do it, you're not going to do it.
I love what you said, that you told the devil not today.
Not today.
And I feel like many of us, when the devil talks to us, we got to have a bold, we got to come up strong and higher and tell the devil no. God says, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to use my business, okay, in this medical field to leverage my business. That's what God said, devil. And you got to do your neck like this.
Yes.
You got to do your neck because you got to, you got to talk back to the devil. You do. And that goes for anybody that's watching today. Not only did she talk back to the devil, she's also using the promises of God. And that's the only way you're going to win, is if you use the promises of God to the devil. Like, period, Pooh.
On a practical sense, I've learned so much about the power of affirming yourself every single day. Just standing in the mirror, just 3 things you love about yourself, you repeat them back to you. 3 things you believe that you can do and you're really good at, you repeat them back to yourself. Where you want to be, you speak about it as if you're already there. You know what I mean? and you affirm yourself. Who are you? What do you believe you can be one day? I am beautiful. I am bold. I am courageous. I am chosen. I am the head and not the tail. You know, I am a child of God, which means that's a big deal. So affirm yourself every single day. You don't need anybody else to do it because God has already said who you are, and you just affirm that to yourself every single day. On a practical sense, that's also something.
All right. So Dr. Mirlotte said two things. Don't be afraid to talk back to the devil. Okay. Because that's the woman God said, don't listen. You got to tell him what God said. So don't be afraid to talk back to the devil. And as an entrepreneur, you have to affirm yourself. I'm taking notes. I just want y'all to know this. Okay. I'm taking notes. I don't know about you, but I'm going to get my life right and my business right. Okay. All right. So I believe we talked about this. We have a question from Ms. Takesha. How were you able to balance? Yeah. So you can go ahead and scratch the surface of this because I believe you answered this already. See, Takesha, we ain't gonna put you out, sis, but you should have been here on time. Okay. All right. So how were you able to balance your full-time job and your new business in the beginning?
Yeah. Ultimately, sacrifices had to be made, which is what I said. I would go to work and, you know, I had events coming up. You get off of work, you take 2-3 hours and say, I'm going to work on whatever it is for my business. And if maybe after work is not a good time, you're going to have to sacrifice the mornings. You're going to have to get up earlier, maybe when the house is quiet, no one's there, the baby's asleep, and you're going to have to get up and say, you know what? I'm going to work 30 minutes on my business before the baby wakes up, or whatever the case may be. Sacrifices had to be made. It's not going to be easy, but ultimately, because you're destined for something greater, because you even have the desire in your heart to do this, that means it's something worth sacrificing for. It's something worth sacrificing for. So if it's the extra 30 minutes right after work before the kids come home, that's what it has to be. I know you're going to be tired, but ultimately you have to think about 5 years from now. You don't want to be 5 years from now thinking to yourself, dang, I should have did that. You don't want to be doing that. So ultimately it's going to be sacrifice. Waking up early, setting small time blocks could kind of help you get into that momentum. I'm going to work on this 30 minutes after work. I'm going to wake up earlier, 30 minutes before work. Or, you know, I'm going to stay late. I'm going to cook and I'm going to put everybody to sleep. And I'm going to stay up late, an extra 60 minutes, and I'm just going to work on this. So ultimately, it's really the sacrifices and deciding that you're going to put in the time when it's probably not the most convenient, honestly. But that's only for a little while. That's only going to be for a little while.
Awesome. Awesome. So are you guys getting something? Can y'all just type in yes? I hope you guys are sharing this video because if I go online and I just see 7 shares and I got about 20 people watching, we're going to have some problems, Jesus. Okay. So I just want you guys, I hope you guys are getting something. Again, this is a pharmacist, she's a doctor, and she's an event planner making 6 figures. And yet God was like, and she felt like there was more that needed to be put out. Okay, 6 figures, and you still feel like this is not it. And God is saying, look, I want you to be an entrepreneur, an event planner. You guys, this is just too good. All right. If you guys have questions, please go ahead and write them down. We're gonna go ahead and I mean, it's so good. We had a whole script, and we didn't even you know, it's just this interview is just too good. Like it's just so good. Okay, so what advice would you give, you know, to that woman or that young girl who is struggling to live out their purpose because, you know, they want to make their parents proud? And I know you initially stated in the beginning that you went into this field because, you know, mom said, you know what, I think this would be the area for you. So what advice would you give to that woman who is watching today and, you know, they're like, look, I'm just going to do what my mama told me to do?
Yeah. So, you know, asking that question, it brings me back to my dad. One thing my dad would always do he would try to take the opportunities that he had with us, whether it was going out to Denny's, Lady May can attest to that, going out to Denny's, spending time with dad in the car, driving, whatever. He would always take the time to instill wisdom in us. And one thing he would always tell us is, don't ever let someone say that you cannot do something. Never let that stop you. If you feel like you can do it, go after it. Don't ever let someone say that you can't do something. You can do whatever you put your mind to it. Everything, there's a formula, he would say. He would say, everything has a formula. Study the formula and you can do it. So he would always try to instill that in us, right? And so that definitely helped me along the way, right? To always stand firm in who I am, what it is that I have inside me, the work ethic that I know that I have. I can do whatever it is that I put my mind to. And so ultimately I know our parents, they really want the best for us, right? I'm talking about my parents. They came here from Haiti. You know, they didn't have very much. They had to work hard. They had to work hard to build whatever it is that they have now, right? And so they want the best for us. They want to see us go get, you know, the college degree. They want to be able to brag about us, right? But ultimately, if you feel like maybe college is not for you, it's okay. It's okay. You can learn, you can get in education and knowledge through certifications. There's vocational schools, there's reading books, there's attending conferences and really putting yourself out there. So if you have the guts to dream it, definitely go ahead and put in the grit and hard work to accomplish it. So ultimately, what I would tell that young lady who's struggling with trying to figure out what she should do and nervous and scared and doesn't want to disappoint her parents, listen, do it scared.
Yes.
Do it scared. Be confident in who you are, and everything is going to work out as long as you promise to put in your hard work. Whatever it is that you need to put in, as long as you promise yourself and carry out on that promise to put in the hard work, everything is going to work out. Your mom, your parents may not understand at the time, but trust me, once you start making money, they're going to understand. They're going to understand. They're going to understand. So do it scared, my queen. Do it scared.
All right, now y'all better write this down, quote it, do it scared. I love it. I love it. And I love what you say. I believe your fiance, when he was on the show last month, said something. Girl, did you hear that? I said fiance.
Yes.
It's not good now. Come on now, somebody. Fiance.
Jude Charles, my fiance. Yes.
I had to, I'm glad that the man of God had to tell the people, because I said, look, if you're going to write a review, just know that he's not single. He's not single. He's not alone. His rib is watching the show. Okay. So please make sure you write the review. Just be mindful of what you're going to say So I love what he said on the show last month. You may not have money to go to the conferences, to go to the workshops, but you have money to buy a book.
Yes.
And you said reading is, that part where I remember him saying that, and it struck with me, because I remember when I was interested in different things, I didn't have the funds to go to these different workshops, but I had money to get a book. I carved out time, I blocked out time, to listen to audio messages, so for those of you that
don't even have the money for the book, the libraries, they offer free books. And if it's ebooks you want, library cards are still a very valuable tool. I have one till this day. You go to the library, you type it in there, most of the time they have it. And it's free. That's free. So you can read, you can gain knowledge that way.
Awesome. So I know, so let's talk about, your why, because a lot of people feel as if I see someone doing this and I feel like, I have it. But yet when there's a dry season, that why tends to go out the door. So let's talk about your why behind what you do, and who plays a major role in keeping you going, in your business, or
So my why is ultimately, I just have a strong desire to inspire people to realize that even in the low moments in their life, ultimately their life as a whole should be celebrated. Even though they've gone through the pits, their life as a whole should be celebrating. Just going back to the young lady that I mentioned, I did the baby shower for, she was a breast cancer survivor. She was told that she wouldn't be able to have children. within a short window after having that chemo and radiation. She conceived, she had a child. And ultimately, you know, she is on the track to developing a foundation for other individuals who may ultimately go through what she's gone through, right? And so I find so much joy in sharing the true and raw stories behind people's lives, right? And obviously we want to celebrate the great moments, but I find just such joy in sharing the stories behind their whole life as a whole, leading up to that moment that we're celebrating. So that is my mission. That is my why. You know, growing up, you know, I grew up to divorced parents. There was struggles. You know, my dad wasn't in the house with us, although he would always make time to try to come and be with us. My mom was a hardworking single mom. And you know, like, we went through things, right? Just because of that in itself. But ultimately, all of that was part of the plan in developing who I am today, right? And so ultimately, I can celebrate that. I can celebrate that. And when you celebrate having overcome the hardships, when you celebrate the miracles, you give someone else hope. You give someone else who's not there yet hope that they will eventually get there. You give that person the inspiration to keep going. And so that's my why. Like, that is the meat behind it all. The events are amazing. Amazing. Okay. But telling the stories, inspiring people, giving people that hope in, you know what, God has a plan for us all. That is ultimately my why. And what was that second part of the question?
Who plays a major role, or who plays a major part in what you do as well? So
honestly, there's so many people that play a part. I talked about my parents. You know, they kind of led me, directed me on this path to entrepreneurship. I don't even think they knew it. You know, they were just trying to get money for themselves, but they were instilling something. My parents, my fiance, he's definitely helped me so much. You know, I told him about my idea and he was ready. As soon as my best friend Pierna, she actually said, you know what, guys, I think you guys have something. I hadn't even really I had done what, a couple of events, my sister's baby shower, my other sister's graduation, and my own graduation party. He didn't really see what I really had to offer, but he was supportive from day one, and he helps me so much with the technological aspects of these things, with all that extra stuff that I have no idea how to operate. He's there for me. There's so many people. My brother always supported me, always in my corner. He tells me that he's one of my biggest fans. He's ready to invest, be my silent partner. My brother-in-law, he would always tell me, you know, why don't you start a business? This is after I graduated pharmacy school. He thought I should start a business before I even realized what was going to be happening. He would always tell me, why don't you start a business? Why don't you start a business? Always supporting me in that way, and still supports me to this day. We have my friends, my girlfriends, Ursula. We have Jessica, who trusted me to do her own event. We have Renette. We have Marissa. We have so many people in my life, personal friendships that have definitely encouraged me. So it's like a tribe of people that I have that have definitely encouraged me. And even through the midst of all of this, they're definitely what keeps me going.
See, what I like about your fiance, see, you ain't got to worry about, I ain't even saying nothing, sis. See, what I like about your fiance is, you ain't got to worry about booking nobody, sis, to crop videos, take pictures, because he do all of that.
My fiance definitely is magnificent with video. That's what he does. So all the videos that you see I have out there, that's definitely him. I do work with another photographer because that's not really his specialty. He's more helping me with the brand itself and helping capture video. I do work with a personal photographer though for all of my, you know, my still shots. Shout out to St. Clair Photography.
Are you guys enjoying this? Like, I mean, we're getting ready to wrap up. If you guys have any questions, I want you guys to ask them. So, we have a few questions here. So are there any books you would recommend some of the ladies who are viewing today? Like, what are some books you have read that helped you on your journey of, just rediscovering or discovering purpose? Or even, to help you in your, your event planning business?
Definitely the first book I would definitely want to recommend is Business Boutique. It's by Christy Wright. And that's one of the books that I definitely used beginning in the start of my journey to just kind of learn the ins and outs about business and things I need to think about, financial aspects and registering my business and all that. So Business Boutique by Christy Wright was definitely one of the books I would definitely recommend. The second one would be Mindset. The author, I can't really remember her name right now, but it's a great book because it teaches you about how impactful your perspective is, right? It shows you how, like, when you have a certain perspective, it can either strengthen or weaken your ultimate direction. And so that was actually by Carol S. Dweck. I just remembered that. So that book right there, it helps you if you're not sure, if you're wondering, and if you're nervous, and if you're doubtful. Honestly, it all boils down to your mindset. That mindset is what directs your path. So those are two pivotal books for me that I would definitely recommend.
We have a question. My question to you guys is, how do you stay motivated? Being an entrepreneur sometimes is overwhelming. So what is your go-to to get recharged? Beautiful question, Stacey. Thank you so much.
How do I stay motivated? I stay motivated, honestly, by kind of sometimes going back to my previous work and seeing the outpouring of support, seeing the outpouring of appreciation and compliments. That kind of helps. That kind of helps you to keep it going. That's ultimately what I generally do. And because sometimes things don't go your way, and so you're a little distraught about it.
Right.
So kind of going back and reminding yourself, like, I've done some great things. Like, it's gonna be a process. Yeah, I've done some great things. It's gonna be a process. I see how the interactions that I've gotten from sharing certain stories, all of that helps to keep me going. You go back to your initial reason why you're doing it, and go back and see the support, the outpouring of support that you've already gotten. So it shows you you're on the right track, but it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, but you just got to get back on the bike and keep going.
So in other words, Stacey, are we here? Okay, I thought I lost you. In other words, you have to keep your why before you at all times. And I love that. That's a beautiful answer, because let me tell you, the struggle gets real sometimes. All right, I feel like I lost my screen. Okay, so we have, keep the questions coming in. We have about one or two more questions. So now we're talking about cultural beliefs. What are some cultural beliefs or tradition you followed for a long time and discovered later on in life they were lies that basically trapped you from, dreaming bigger?
Yeah. So cultural beliefs that turn out to be lies. So I always had it in my mind that if I just make good money, I can be wealthy. I can be wealthy. I can buy the latest and greatest. And as soon as I start making money, I can upgrade my status. And start buying status symbols and all that, right? And ultimately, I got out of school and started making great money. Excuse me. But I realized that although I'm making great money, ultimately it's not how much money you make that leads you to wealth, but how well you manage that money. How well you manage that money, right? So I always had it. I could just make money. I'm gonna be making great money so I can buy what I need and blah blah blah. I can have different different status. I can buy status symbols. But ultimately, it's really not about spending it all. It's about managing it effectively. And so, just an example to show you that, I've been driving the same car that I've had since college. I'm still driving that thing. Still driving it. Why? Because she still works. She still works. And she's been faithful. Maybe there's like a little attachment there. I'm not sure. But she's still faithful. You know what I mean? And I could have easily upgraded my car, upgraded to, the Audi that I wanted, all of this stuff. But ultimately I realized, you know what's going to get me to that desire that I have to be wealthy one day. We're talking about financial independence here and things like that. It's really not all the money that I'm making. It's about how well I'm managing it, So I'm sure a lot of y'all have seen me out there. A lot of y'all have seen me out there, my 2008 Toyota Yaris, thinking, sis, why? Why are you still driving that?
If it works, woman of God. It works.
Sis, but listen, it's coming. It's just not time yet. You gotta wait. Allow, the purpose to be revealed out slowly. You gotta wait for these things. So definitely, it's not about how much you make, but it's about how well you manage it. To get to.
I like that. That's a word. Can we quote that? It's not about how much you make, but it's all about how you manage it.
Yeah.
Can somebody tweet that so I could copy and paste it, put on my status. And so somebody asked, if you were able to do it all over again, would you go to college? Would you go to school? Would you go to pharmacy school? That's a good question.
That's a great question. That's a great question. And honestly, I kind of thought I'd get this question too. Would I go back and do it all over again? Ultimately, I think so. Because, with the direction, the way that I pivoted Epic now, I'm only going to be able to do that because of my pharmacy knowledge. And ultimately, pharmacy, it was hard. It was a struggle. But I made it through, and it's ultimately part of my purpose. And going to school has definitely given me the opportunity to have the capital to do certain things with event design. So it all kind of really worked out the way it should have worked out. So ultimately, I would personally do it all over again.
That's good. All right. So we are going to we have one more question. So how do you feel about different streams of income? Because we were just talking about how much money you make, and it's all about how you manage it. Do you believe in different streams of income? If so, how many streams of income you have working for you at the moment? And
So ultimately, yes, I do believe in different streams of income. I think COVID has definitely showed us that it's very important to have different streams of income or have, emergency funds set in place. So yeah, absolutely. I believe in different streams of income. So right now I have 3 streams of income. I have income from, being a pharmacist. I have income from the business Epic by Design, being an event designer, telling stories. And the third one would be investing in myself, investing in our future through various investments is definitely a third stream of revenue for me.
That's amazing. So I'm going to give you a few minutes. Talk to us give us the name of your business. I know you quoted it a few times, but just tell us a little bit about your business, the name of the business. Do you have an Instagram page or a Facebook Live page? I do see your fiance on here, so I know he's going to put the link on here for us, because I really want you guys to, again, support her business. She does beautiful work. Her fiance does beautiful job capturing the story behind the videos. So tell us the name of your business. I know you already told us when you started, but how long you've been in business, and how can we support you right now? I know right now a lot of things are closed, but how can the Heart to Heart community support you?
Oh, wow. That's amazing. So the name of the business is Epic by Design. And kind of breaking it down, I know a lot of people wonder why it's spelled so weird, because it's the word epic, which means a moment in time marked by significant events, right?
Sure.
So it's called epic by design because I believe that everyone's life is made up of a bunch of significant events, a lot of different moments in life that are significant, and they all fall into accordance to God's design for your life. So it's
Okay.
epic by design. All of the moments that we're celebrating, special moments in people's lives, are according to God's design for your life. And so right now we have our website under construction. So the website is drmirlotte.com. But right now you can follow me on Instagram at Dr. Mirlotte and Facebook with the name Mirlotte Demesman. So those are the two places that you could definitely follow me online. And as far as heart to heart, honestly, Ludi, what you're doing is amazing. You are actually allowing female entrepreneurs and male entrepreneurs to have that platform to kind of just come on and talk about themselves and what they do. So you have done enough, my friend. You have done enough with allowing me to come on to this platform and to share, my experience. And I definitely want to appreciate you and thank you, Queen, for allowing me to come on here today. I really appreciate that.
So you guys, we're getting ready to close out, but again, before you do leave, we're still going to take a few questions. This interview was like thebomb.com. I don't know about you guys, but I took so much notes. She blessed me, and I know she blessed you guys too. As you guys know, if you know that this, I don't want to call it a podcast because it's not, but if you know that this segment really blessed you, please go ahead and write a review, because you're not just motivating, other individuals, but you're motivating Dr. Mirlotte. People need to read and see how they have impacted individuals they do not know. So my DM at this very moment is open. And I know a lot of you guys are faithful in writing your interviews, but please write a quick testimony of how her story has blessed you. I can't wait to read them. I can't wait to post them. I know she's going to be, moved by it, because reading those testimonials is also going to motivate her to keep going and to even speak, because I know she was a little nervous, but she
I was, guys. I'm a little shy. So this was definitely a great experience. I'm really glad I did it. So it's getting me out of my shell.
You did so much. You did so well.
Oh,
and
you.
Listen, I didn't see not a fearful bone in your body today, So guys, please, I added her Instagram handle. Again, share this video with somebody on your page so that they can be empowered to step out. And what I love about this interview, one of the foundations is that she got the Lord on her side, y'all. Like, she literally quoted this man and several questions. And because of that, he's opening doors. Yeah. So, not to get biblical, I don't want to do an altar call right now, praise the Lord. But if you don't have the Lord on your side, I just want you to try him. Yeah. I just want you to try him. Just try him. Just something about the Lord that can make a way. And COVID-19. Oh, God.
In COVID-19. Oh, Jesus. Yes, that's very true. In COVID-19.
In COVID-19, you still prospering, you still eating, sis, and you still going to the bank. Period. Okay. We don't leave that alone. You guys, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for your support. Mirlotte, Dr. Mirlotte, thank you so much for sharing your story with us here at Heart to Heart.
Having me, lady.
You did phenomenal. I took so much notes today. Like, you blessed me, sis. Like, you done preached to me, and you don't know that, but I just want to thank you for speaking to me tonight. So I appreciate you, sis.
Thank you for allowing me to come on. Definitely.
Listen, you blessed me. So you guys, again, please write your reviews. I want to read them. I want Mirlotte to be blessed by them as well. I'm going to be sharing some tonight. I know how I go, how I do things. go ahead and send those reviews in. I really love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And
if you guys have any extra questions as well, you guys can also reach out to me on Messenger as well. So
okay, so she's going to, and that's amazing now, because some people after the interview, they just done. This woman of God says she's going to give y'all some more time. And if I missed any questions, I'm sure she's going to go ahead and, write you guys individually. But her DM is open to answer any questions that you may have about the event planning or just about purpose. All right.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and cut this out. So bye, you guys.
Bye.